Good morning. This is Department of Career Services here. Whoa, we do have light, finally. We've got light. Alexa, what is the date?
It's Sunday, October 2nd.
Great. And Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:40 a.m. Hope you're having a good weekend, Edward.
So far. And Alexa, what is the weather forecast?
In Amargosa Valley, it's 61 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly clear skies. Today, you can look for mostly sunny weather with a high of 91 degrees and a low of 61 degrees.
Okay, 91 degrees. Well, it's Sunday, and you know what that means. Choich. Choich, we're going to be leaving just before 8 o'clock to head to Pahrump-Tucky for church. We've got some visitors coming out here today, so that's great. That's good news. And let's see, what else? Thank you to the people who once again did their duty and paid their program fees, so that's good. What else? What else can we talk about? What else? What other big things are happening? Oops, not a good straw. Haven't heard from Jeannie for a while, so if anybody sees Jeannie or hears from Jeannie, please have her give us a call. Find out what she's doing. Join these calls. Hopefully Diana is on. Good morning, Diana. What is your status? How are things in Montana? So while we're waiting for Diana to respond, I will introduce this. This is Thriving Warrior Department of Career Services, where we are here to help you move from point A to point B. Point A is where you are, B is where you want to be, B is better. How do we do that? Many ways. One is this morning podcast, which in the notes down below, please subscribe, click on the bell, et cetera, et cetera. We have links to various things. One is our basic training course. Used to be the apprentice course, now it's the basic training course, 4-week basic training course online. Links to the video I use for this motivational video, to the source. A link to a TED Talk that's part of our part of our basic training course. Other links to things we do, like including housing, clothing, food, hygiene, transportation, work skills training, and foundational employment and career planning services to Thriving Warrior members. Links to information about those things, and a brief little blog post from Seth Godin, who's someone we believe in and who believes in helping people move forward. Well, that's what he does. So all of that is included below, and this podcast is like a little breadcrumb bleep, bleep, bleep that you pick up, you follow, easy to follow and easy to use to get to the next one. So that's what we do. Let's see, Diana Crowley says, on the bus in Oregon. I will be in Montana at 1 a.m., work at 9 a.m. Okay, cool. Good job, Diana. Moving forward. Yes, I got a haircut yesterday. Many of the few remaining ones. Okay, so there were, wow. So I wonder what it's going to look like in 10 more years. Okay. All right, so yesterday's TED Talk was Steve Jobs. Great TED Talk. 3 little stories that got him to become who he was. And you can see he did not have a pre-conscious good start as an infant, even before he was born. And then he lost everything, and then he got it back in his view on life. Okay, so today is David Foster Wallace. David Foster Wallace was possibly destined to be one of the great American writers. I think he is one of the great American writers, but his career was ended short His best book, Infinite Jest, over 1,000 pages of fiction. A different type of literature, humorous, very good, well written, extremely well written. Anyway, it's a graduation speech he gave. This is Water. Some stories in it that are worth noting. And yeah, so that's a good one. Perfect for a Sunday. Everybody worships something. Let's see. Oh, okay. So our message for today is simple. How do we get to success? Simple. So our tagline here for success, little breadcrumb bleep, is it's simple. ... Do something. It's simple. Just say no. What? Say no? Yeah. Just say no to things that are going to distract you, things that are going to take you off your course. Say no to those things. Just say no. Have your plan, have your goal, have your vision, and then just keep doing it. Jump, go after it, and then keep going. So when the others come in and they want to distract you, want to take you away from that, just say no. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just say no. And what will then happen? Well, you get to stay on the path that you're on. And you get to keep pursuing success. You kind of have to be very dogged about your success. All righty then. Next. So we talked about the TED Talk for today. We talked about yesterday's TED Talk. A little bit of some notes from today's video. Spring always comes. Spring always comes. Just keep going. It's going to get better if you keep going. Just keep going. But then winter comes too. So you have to expect that as well. Just keep going. Just say no to the little voice in your head that says it's too hard, it's not worth it, the reward is less than the effort, etc. Just say no. Make a plan. So another thing in the video today says it's simple. Success is simple. Make a plan, then execute the plan. That's all you have to do. Make a plan and then execute the plan. Just keep going. If you listen to Steve Jobs yesterday, his message was, it will all work out. It's all going to work out. You can't see it looking forward. You can see it looking backward. So Diana might be saying that now today. All of the struggles, all of the pain, all of the things that she's had to do have led her to where she is today, and it will all work out. Certainly take longer than we expected because we were not prepared that it was a siege. We thought it was a simple victory, a sprint. No, it's not a sprint. It is not a marathon. It's more like a Ironman, a daily Ironman. You just have to keep going. You need other people to help you. We're here to help you do that. Okay, let's see what Seth Godin has to say today. For the good of the community. One way to serve the community is to see it as a market and solve one of its problems. Okay, so the community is a market. There's people buying, selling, asking questions, instructing, learning. It's a market. The community is a market. Okay. When people choose to buy something, it's ostensibly because the thing you sell is worth more to them than it costs. And so value is created. Okay? You're in this market, you have something to sell. People buy it because they want it or they need it. And they can afford it. Or they find a way to afford it. Okay? And so value is created. There's an exchange. Boom, some sort of exchange. Could be a promise. I promise to do this if you do that to now, et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't matter. When people choose to buy something, it's ostensibly because the thing you sell is worth more to them than it costs. And so value is created. And when you make a profit selling something and pay taxes, those taxes go to create services for the community. Right. So the people who have businesses and the people who buy stuff, a portion of that, small portion of that, relatively speaking, a small portion of that is taken away as taxes. And those taxes are supposed to be used to pay for things to make the community better. Could be social services, food for people who don't have food, clothing, basic necessities for people would be one thing. Planning departments or building inspection things so that housing is safe, etc. So that comes from the taxes that are generated from people buying and selling things. For those two reasons, culture has evolved to enable capitalism. Okay? Capitalism has been able to evolve because people can buy things and sell things, and because they pay taxes, and money from the taxes can be used to improve the community. When the system gets out of whack, two things happen. First, some businesses use their market power to extract more value than they create. Aha, we're going to charge you more because we can. And a lot of quasi-government things like trash collection and things like that are charged more. Utilities are charged higher than they should be because they can, because there's no competition. It's not part of the capitalistic type thing. They pay more than the value they create. And second, they use their lobbying power to pay no taxes. So you could say this is like Apple pays, not Apple. Amazon pays very, very little taxes. The market hasn't failed, but the system used to address market and community needs sometimes does. So when you have companies that take more out, a higher percentage than their value, and then they don't pay taxes, how does the community provide services to the people who need it? Boom. Okay. Now, how do we apply that to us? So let's think about that. So this could be you, when each of us does something, creates value, we get paid, and we pay a percentage of that as taxes. And those taxes help other people or help us in the future. If we charge too much for our services simply because we can, and then we don't pay taxes on it, we're not really doing our job. So if we apply the categorical imperative to that, if everybody did that, if that was the law and everybody did it, charge more than you're worth and don't pay taxes, what happens? Boom, collapse, right. Okay, so thank you, Seth, for that. We're at 1329. Let's go to that. Yesterday was the only easy day. Navy SEAL maxim. Maxim, what's a maxim? It's a moral rule. Yesterday was the only easy day. Well, how do I make today more than yesterday? So I've gone through this now that I have the new book, the AFWorks book, not the Moleskine book. Now that I have that, I was able to break it down into 4 things. And one of them has a subset. Okay, 4 things. First, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Second, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. 3, have a goal. And 4, be more samurai. Be samurai. So under 1.1, get comfortable being uncomfortable. How do I get comfortable being uncomfortable? That sucks. Well, I can, 1, embrace the suck. 2, choose the hard path. Humility, hard work, taking ownership, taking responsibility, discipline, and sacrifice. I can choose the hard path to make yes, to embrace the suck. To get comfortable being uncomfortable. 1.2, don't compare yourself to other people. Obviously, have a goal. If you don't know where you're going, any path will take you there. Once you have a goal, as Jordan Peterson says, it pulls you towards it. The world manifests around that goal. And your reticular activation system is activated, and anything having to do with that, it's constantly scanning all information available to you to support your belief and be more samurai. So with that, at 15:37, I will say, and cut. Yes, cut.